y'all. So doing a little bit of yard work today. Decided it was a good time to go ahead and finish off these two French meals. I'm pretty hungry, so I'm not going to split it into two videos. I'm just going to do it all as one. So just a reminder of what we're looking at. We're looking at the thigh pie parade, the tuna dish. We have the beef lasagna over here. And we've got the cheese and the pate right here. Fromage fondue, pate de foie supérieur. And we've also got our fruit bar, our chocolate, our mint tea, a pack of biscuits, and our chicken soup here. So I'm doing something a little bit different this time with the entrees. Instead of putting them directly on the fire, can't remember who it was that was talking about it in the chat one day about if it would be better to boil the cans. So I decided to pull out the mess kits and also the extra, stove, because I have the French stove under this one over here, and I've got my regular Esbit style stove under this one here. As you can see, they've both gotten a good boil, and I also had enough to do my water for my soup and my tea. Now with the tea, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I've got the hot water boiling, but I'm not a huge fan of hot tea, and it's not as cold today as it has been, so I'm probably going to add a little bit of cold water to it after it gets done steeping, just to kind of temper it down a little bit. Yes, I know I just committed a sin trying to dunk it. So, and of course, oh, I'm going to smack that around. Ooh, well, that's interesting. Now, of course, to eat this with, we have our Minotaur MRE sport candy. Oh, and we have tiltage, so I'm going to consider that done and just go ahead and, well, there's a question. Those are not waterproof. So we're going to let that sit there. All right, so to start with, let's get this soup mixed up, because right now it's just a big messy clump. This is cool. There's pieces of pasta in there, if you can see that. Little O's, so that'll make things a little more interesting. I just kind of eyeballed 250 milliliters here, which is what the soup called for, so it may be a little weak, it may be a little strong. We'll find out once we try it. All right, and we've got our tea steeping here. I didn't mean for that to fall in, so let's pull that back out. Yes, I know. I'm a naughty boy for doing the tea bag this way. English people, register your comments in the chat below. All right, now let's get rid of a little bit of trash here. Dump this right over here. Now, we got our sucre daddy. I still laugh at that, I'm sorry. Over here, ready for our tea. I only brought one pack of biscuits out with me to try these with. I want to see how it does, and then if it's good, I'll grab some more for it to finish it up in a few minutes. Now, one of the things I love about this Minotaur MRE spork, sorry about that, fact that it has the built-in knife, and I've got the lanyard just stuck in it right now, so that way I can wear it around my neck and not forget it. So while our soup is finishing up, let's take a look at our two little packages here. All right, so this is the pate. Oh. All right, open the sesame. All right, got a definite line of fat around the top of that. You can see that right there. Beyond that, just smells like a good pate. We're going to set that right there. Actually, we're going to set that right there. See if a little bit of that heat will migrate over. Here we got, oh, sorry about that. Our cheese. Ooh, there's a little bit of separation there. But it does smell like a good cheese. I'll pour a little bit of that liquid off. Probably should have just mixed that in, but that's all right. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, that's a nice soft. It's not like the last time. The last time was a whiter type cheese. This is more yellow. But I think this, if I remember correctly, was actually a goat cheese. Let's see what it's like. Honestly, very mild. Not as strong as the last cheese I had from a French ration several years ago. But I mean, it's got a cheese flavor. It almost kind of honestly reminds me, I don't know, that's a little unusual. It's kind of like a medium cheddar type flavor, but for a goat cheese, that is very unusual. Let's try some with a little bit of cracker here. All right. See how it does with a little bit of cracker. For cheese and cracker, it's pretty good. Let's find out about this pate here. That's pretty good. Still not as good as the Spanish pate. I'm sorry, they're number one in the pate market, in my opinion. But good. So now, let's go this route. Goes really good with a cracker. But now for the ultimate question. Let's try the two together. Yeah, I should have brought some more crackers with me. I'll have to run in and get some in a few minutes. Yeah. Let's set these to the side real quick. You know what? I'll come back to them in a minute. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's try the soup. Looks like that got mixed up good. It's nice and thick. You can see it coating the... Get out of there! Annoying little... Sorry about that. Apparently somebody in nature thought the soup smelled good too. Here we go. A little pasta rings are okay, but I don't know. The flavor's a little unusual. Definitely a chicken base. There's something else in there, and I can't quite figure out what it is. That actually calls for And you know, I would almost be fine just with the soup and these 2 cans with some more crackers as a lunch. But we got more to try. So we'll start with it's sugar or tea. I'm a Southerner. I like my tea sweet. I don't care what kind it is. Oh, and I love this little cup. Found this at a Army surplus store down in Destin, Florida. I'll leave a link to it down in the area below. They were a really awesome place. Had a lot of great stuff and a lot of good deals, so definitely worth checking out. If you're in the area, it's best to stop in, but they have a good online presence too, so give them a try. Here, let me add a little more water to that. Give me just a moment. Yeah, picked up a new canteen and canteen cover for $2.50 each, so $5 for a good Molly style canteen cover and a new canteen. And you ain't gonna find that deal anywhere, especially for the Molly style covers. So they're definitely worth checking out. All right, let's give this tea a try. You can tell looking down in there, and you might not be able to because of the glare. See that? All the sugar is pretty much dissolved, so. First thing I noticed bringing this up, smell that mint strong. That was a strong mint smell. Not as strong inside. It's, I guess because I added the extra water, it kind of weakened it out a little bit, but it was a nice minty beverage. It's not bad. I'm not a mint fan, so I don't think I would be buying this on the regular, but if you do like mint, pick up some, give it a try. That was actually pretty good. Give me just a second here. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that there. Set that there. I'm going to set this up here for a minute. Now, okay, so that's a nice warm can. Get that out of the way. Grab this one. You can see my Esbit stove there. I think I'm going to have to end up retiring it, though. I've had it several years and it's starting to warp on me, so I think it's finally going to give up the ghost. So I'll have to replace it soon, but it took care of today's needs. That's all that mattered. All right, and remember my little handle here. You know what? I'm going to do the tuna first. All right. That's definitely good and warm. It's warm on top too, so it was warmed all the way through. Alrighty. Pop this lid off. Alright. Okay. So I can definitely see the little couscous pearls. I'm assuming that's what that is. I could be wrong. Not really a fishy smell like I expected from the tuna. All right. And just so I don't stab myself, I'm going to put the cover back on that. I'd really hate to have to stop filming to go do first aid, so. Alright, so got some definite tomatoes on the top. That's a big piece of tuna right there. In case you can't see that, that is solid albacore tuna. It's not flaked like I thought it was going to be. That's a solid hunk. And it is warm, not burning hot, but warm through the middle, so it's actually perfect. No fishy flavor like I thought it was going to have. You get the sweetness from the tomatoes. These little pearls do come in handy. That's not bad. I like that. I'm going to tell you, folks, not a big fish fan. I'm very picky about my fish, especially canned fish, because you know as well as I do, you can usually tell as soon as somebody opens one in a 10-mile radius, because you can just smell it all over the place. So this does not have that problem. It does not have a fishy taste. In this case, the fish has actually a fresher, cleaner taste than I expected. And it also accepted the juices and everything, so it marinated really well. So I am actually very pleased and satisfied with that. I'm surprised. But before I get too far into that, let me hop into the lasagna. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this lasagna. I think even Old Smoky was talking about how good this was, and so I've been kind of curious about trying it. Let's pop this open here. First thing you see on the top is a solid sheet of pasta. That's good. And because of that, I'm pulling that lid all the way off. As you can see, like I said, that's a solid sheet of pasta right there. No, that's... Is that? Yeah, that's pasta. I was going to say, that looks like fat for a minute, but no, it is pasta. And you can actually see, this will show great, that it's in layers, like an actual lasagna. You know as well as I do, we're used to the can or the packaged lasagna or the retort pouch lasagna that's the noodles with the sauce, and they just call it lasagna, but this is an actual lasagna, folks. Look at that. You can see the 3 individual pasta sheets in there separating the 2 layers of sauce. Oh man, that is real lasagna. That is good, but give me just a second here. Look at that. Add that cheese on the top of that. Look at that lasagna. I mean, come on. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. If anybody knows where I can buy just the cans of this lasagna in France, let me know. I would buy this by itself just to keep in the cabinet. My goodness, that is good. Before I dig into that too far, Let me go ahead and show you these. We have our apricot pâté de fruit. Which, as you can see, is a jelly hunk right there. Kind of like the old fruit gummies that you used to get here in the States, but just tougher. That sugary coating gives it a bit of a crunch, and then you've got that apricot flavor underneath. It dissolves really well, surprisingly, considering how tough it is. As you can see, you have that full delineation right there. So you can see where the actual jelly is versus the crust that's on the top. That's actually good. I'm going to finish that off later. Cover it up so the bees don't get to it. And this is the one I've been waiting for, chocolate bar. I love dark chocolate, and the French has always had a real good one. So, a little bit of blooming, nothing really major. Nice snap, still hard. There we go. It breaks apart real easy when you bite into it. Good, solid, dark flavor. Oh, and just for the record, all this stuff's still in date. 10/17/2020. 11/25/2020, so I'll tell you what, folks. I'm going to finish eating real quick. I had brought out, I think, of the salt and pepper. Well, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm not going to mess with the lasagna. Well, I don't care so much about the salt. I will add a little bit of it to the tuna just to see if that helps it. Sprinkle a little bit over that. The pepper, though. The pepper's the one I'm curious about. So, let's see if that makes much of a difference to those two before I say see you later. Alright. And everywhere you go in there, some good tuna. Yep. Oh, and the best part about not putting that directly on the flame and putting it in the water, no burning on the bottom. So that's actually a really good idea. I can't remember who it was that said that in the chat, but whoever it was, you had a great idea, dude. I wish I could remember who it was and say thank you. You did really good. Now let's try this with some of the pepper and some of the cheese. I'm curious. You know, it doesn't need it. Didn't need the cheese either, but it really helps it. You know what, folks? I'm going to finish eating. I'm not going to bug y'all anymore. So, excuse me, that's Orlando. That's the rest of the French RCIR. Definitely a lot better than what I remember from 5 years ago. And also a lot better not being in almost freezing conditions for filming this. So, but thanks for watching. Again, I'll stick the website for Minotaur MRE for the lovely sport and for the Army Navy store in Destin down in the links below. If you get a chance, check them both out. And I'm going to finish eating. Y'all have a good one.